The Wall Street Journal in this article is calling, or at least saying out loud, that maybe Caitlin Clark's civil rights are actually being violated. Is her right to a peaceful workplace, a non-hostile work environment, are those rights being violated by the
The Wall Street Journal just dropped a bombshell that's shaking the sports world to its core. Caitlin Clark's civil rights might be getting trampled in the WNBA. Yes, you read that right. The question isn't just whether she's being unfairly targeted on the court, it's whether her fundamental right to a safe, non-hostile workplace is being violated. Every game feels like an episode of Law, Order, Rogue Refs Edition, with Clark dodging elbows, hip checks, and forearms, like she's auditioning for a cage match instead of playing basketball. Fouls? They're only called if she breathes too close to an opponent. Welcome to a twisted sports saga where play fair translates to good luck, kid.
All of y'all who said we were exaggerating, Caitlin Clark's not getting fouled, bruh, it's to the point where we have this going on. We're talking, now there's articles about her civil rights being like thrown out. It is crazy. It is crazy.
If you thought injustice was confined to courtrooms, Caitlin Clark's 2024 WNBA season is a masterclass in athletic unfairness, and the evidence is piling up faster than her bruises. Sean Malone's article in the Journal doesn't mince words, and neither should we. The WNBA claims to champion empowerment, equality, and progress, yet it's allowing its generational talent to be tackled like she's dodging debt collectors in a back alley. Clark's jersey might as well read, "Kick me, I'm talented." The targeting is blatant. Flagrant fouls stack up, most uncalled, and the league's response is a collective shrug. They've assembled what seems like a committee of bureaucrats who've never seen a basketball game.
Caitlin Clark, the Department of Justice, and quite possibly the President of the United States himself. Somebody gotta say it, so I'm gonna say it. But one thing I will not do is take credit for this. I am looking at the Wall Street Journal. The author of the article is a guy by the name of Sean McLean. Let me read to you the opening couple of graphs, because I want you to hear the impact. This is serious.
Led by someone who probably thinks WNBA stands for "We're not bothering anyone." Their disciplinary process? It's like blindfolded darts thrown at a wall of random punishments, with no consistency or accountability. Meanwhile, Clark's out there surviving what looks less like a basketball season and more like a Hunger Games reboot, where the goal isn't to score, but to make it to the locker room in one piece.
A lot of y'all not honest with yourselves. I've been telling y'all, it's all documented from this season, and I've pulled up clips from last season. We obviously see the targeting. We obviously see the jealousy. We obviously see the hatred. We see it all. Whether you're gonna be honest or not, we see it. Y'all can't come with this excuse of, oh, it's just physical. Bro, Caitlin had like majority of the flagrant fouls last season. Most of them went.
Let's talk specifics. In her rookie season with the Indiana Fever, Clark faced an unprecedented level of physicality. Data from the 2024 season shows she was on the receiving end of 17 flagrant fouls, more than any other player in the league, yet only a fraction resulted in suspensions or meaningful penalties. One infamous incident saw Chicago Sky's Chennedy Carter hip check Clark to the floor before the ball would...
WNBA, y'all are in trouble. I told y'all didn't want to protect my precious CC. Now y'all getting hit with a civil lawsuit for targeting. You hear me? And then this stuff is documented. That don't even make no sense from players just speaking freely, thinking that they won't have no consequences. That means somebody had them on the payroll. You know what I'm saying? She done had 4 injuries within like a month and a half. Disgusting.
A move so blatant it trended on X for days. The refs? They called it a common foul, later upgraded to a flagrant after public outcry. Another game had Connecticut Sun's Alyssa Thomas clotheslining Clark during a layup attempt, with nary a whistle blown. These aren't isolated moments, they're a pattern. Social media clips circulating on X show at least 30 instances of Clark being body slammed, elbowed, or tripped, often with no call.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. So, You know, I don't really talk about politics, but once politics enter my world, my rule is, you know, I say this, we gotta talk about it. So politics are coming to our world, my world, sports, and now in Caitlin Clark's world, which is so unfortunate. I feel sorry for Caitlin Clark because she's a pawn of this whole thing, and I think Caitlin Clark needs to speak up. I'm tired of her being silent.
The message is clear. In the WNBA, talent like Clark's comes with a bullseye. Why is Clark getting mauled? The answer's painfully simple. She's too good. Her three-point artistry, averaging 8.2 assists and 17. 1 points per game as a rookie has redefined the game. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon drawing record-breaking viewership, 9 million tuned into her debut game, the highest for any WNBA game in over a decade. But instead of inspiring better defense or smarter play,
how bad? You know how bad and nasty things gotta be for the Wall Street Journal to talk about going after y'all for her civil rights being violated? Do you know how bad it has to get? That's how nasty things have become. And you guys like to sit there and make it seem like we're making things up. We're not making nothing up. Kathy Engelberg treats Caitlin Clark like she's a headache and a disservice to the league.
her brilliance seems to provoke violence. Opponents, unable to match her skill, resort to physicality over finesse. It's not about stopping her shot, it's about stopping her. Period. And the refs, apparently moonlighting as Jumbotron enthusiasts, miss calls like they're in a witness protection program.
And that's understandable because there have been fantastic players in the WNBA for a long time. But Caitlin didn't disparage them. She just came in and kind of changed the game with her style. So I think it's one of those things where you have to say, okay, maybe I don't think it's fair based on the previous women who have been in this league, but it's not Caitlin's fault. All she's done is elevate the game for all of us. And I think instead of being pissed off about that,
the league's silence is deafening. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and her leadership team act like this is just physical play, a rite of passage for rookies. Bullshit. Defense is part of the game. Kneecapping someone like a mob enforcer in a Scorsese flick isn't. The excuses are laughable. She needs to toughen up? When your kneecaps are relocated to your thighs and your spine's realigned by airborne elbows, mental toughness isn't the issue. It's survival. It's just basketball? Tell that to the slow-motion replays of Clark getting body slammed, trending on X with hashtags like #ProtectCaitlin. Some try to deflect with race-baiting nonsense, claiming critics are just protecting the white girl. Let's cut through the noise. Accountability doesn't care about skin color. Bad behavior is bad behavior, and if you need to commit 3 felonies a game to prove you're tough, maybe you're not that good at basketball. The WNBA's hypocrisy is glaring. They tout growth, expansion, and visibility, goals Clark has single-handedly advanced. Her games boosted league ratings by 40% in 2024 per ESPN, and ticket sales for Fever games skyrocketed. Yet, they repay her by letting her be treated like a human crash dummy. If this were the NFL, with its army of lawyers and billion-dollar PR machine, the league would have shut this down by the second commercial break. But in the WNBA, it's just character building. Former players and self-appointed gatekeepers clutch pearls, whining that Clark hasn't earned her place. Earned it? Her resume, NCAA all-time scoring leader, WNBA rookie records, is an MVP cheat code.
Kathy Engelbert, where are you? Where are you, Kathy? Nowhere to be found. You are quiet. Quiet as a mouse. It done got real spooky, I know. Nightmare on Elm Street is what I'm talking about, Freddy Krueger style.
She didn't disparage the league's pioneers. She's elevated the game for everyone, bringing eyes to a sport that struggled for mainstream attention. Instead of gratitude, she gets hostility masked as hustle, and the league's too scared to call it out. This isn't just about basketball. It's about workplace safety, a basic civil right. The Journal's framing is no exaggeration. Clark's enduring a hostile work environment where physical assaults are normalized, and the employer, the WNBA, is complicit through inaction.
Dang, serious, you don't have no integrity. You hear me? You allowing these assaults on my precious CC, but you have your favoritism when it comes to certain other players who not even the face of the league. They just hoopers. They ain't bring no awesome revenue. They ain't bring no awesome viewership. They ain't bring y'all out of the shadows to the mainstream. Now we see everything that's been going on.
Title VII of the Civil Rights Act protects against workplace hostility, and Clark's case could set a legal precedent. Imagine the lawsuit: a reel of uncalled fouls, medical records of her 4 reported injuries in 6 weeks, sprained ankle, bruised ribs, and more, and testimony from analysts who've called out the league's negligence. Her family's lawyers likely have a folder labeled Exhibit A, and the public's watching. Posts on X are already speculating about a class action suit, with fans citing the league's failure to enforce its own rules as systemic negligence.
Maybe WNBA leadership should at least have to go sit in front of some people and answer some very uncomfortable questions. Lord knows I would love to see that. Because Kathy Engelbert and Adam Silver, it seems to be nothing to see here. Please move along.
The societal implications are massive. The WNBA markets itself as a beacon of women's empowerment, yet it's letting its brightest star be punished for her success. This isn't just about Clark. It's about every young athlete watching.
Comes a point where people have to use the brain that God gave them and understand that before you write an article, you really need to think about what you're writing. You really need to take take a step back, roll your chair back, open your eyes, and realize that what you write, you might not want to write. It's like an email response to something that you have happen at work. Write it, delete it, and then
wondering if talent comes with a price tag of physical harm. Parents might hesitate to let their daughters idolize a league that normalizes violence. Sponsors who poured millions into the WNBA thanks to Clark's draw might pull out when they see their star player trending for injuries, not highlights. The league's inaction risks alienating the very audience Clark brought in, turning a dream into a trap. So what's the fix? Start with the basics. Enforce the damn rules. The WNBA's rulebook defines flagrant fouls as unnecessary and excessive contact. Clark's highlight reel is a textbook case. Hand out fines and suspensions like candy to anyone who tries to separate her shoulders from her torso. If that doesn't work, equip refs with tasers to zap players confusing basketball with pro wrestling. Better yet, invest in referee training to ensure consistency, not vibes-based officiating. The league could also adopt a Caitlin clause, a policy targeting repeat offenders with escalating penalties. And let's not dodge the elephant in the room. When physical disparities, height, weight, or strength, create unfair advantages, the league needs to have tough conversations about fairness and safety, not sweep them under the rug. The WNBA has a choice. They can grow up, protect all players, and build a league worth watching, one that honors talent, not bruises. Or they can keep pretending Clark's the problem and watch their newfound audience walk away. The clock's ticking, and Clark's patience isn't infinite. She's been diplomatic, a Gandhi-like figure staying above the fray, but the Journal's article signals a shift. Commentators are flinching. That it's just the game crowd is getting quieter, and fans are cringing, not cheering. If Clark speaks up, or worse, walks into a courtroom with a high-profile attorney and a viral reel of assaults, the WNBA's in for a reckoning. This isn't just a sports issue anymore. It's a civil rights issue in sneakers. The league better act before Caitlin Clark's highlight reel becomes a courtroom exhibit, and the WNBA's legacy becomes a cautionary tale.
I know she's trying to be like this Gandhi figure, try to be like MLK, passive aggressiveness, but peaceful. I get it. But I think it's time for Caitlin Clark to speak up for herself. She needs to speak up for herself because she's allowing these people like senators talk about her civil rights are being violated, which is